Hi guys, and welcome to my review of a Predator. Not to be confused with the original Predator, but this movie is the fourth installment of, or sixth if you count the AVP films. No, this is The Predator from 2018, and I know there was quite a lot of optimism from fans when this movie was released, particularly because Shane Black was directing this, so there was understandably this feeling of optimism that he could be able to kind of like breathe some fresh life into this. And after revisiting this film, I can at least see the potential for that. I can at least see some sort of like what the intention was there. After revisiting this film, but yeah, this movie passed me by at the cinema. I never got around to seeing it, so I never really got around to seeing this film until maybe about a year after it had been released, when I had caught it on streaming. I know that there was a whole load of controversy surrounding this film when it got released, due to Shane Black employing a registered sex offender as part of the cast, which ended up getting exposed later by another one of the cast members here, which in due course put a lot of the cast and crew in awkward positions with interviews, and they've since had to come forward and apologise for that and stuff. But yeah. The other thing that was pretty well documented about this film was that it had gone through a lot of reshoots and a lot of editing in the post production of the film, and I'll get to that in due course. But yeah, so yeah, when I had, like I said, guys, I never really got around to seeing this film until about a year after it being released, and at that time I really didn't like it. I just thought it was trash, I'll be honest. And so this was the first time I have revisited this film, just for the purpose of this review. To my surprise, I actually ended up enjoying this film on this second rewatch much more than I was anticipating. Do you know what I mean? I do think that if you can go into this movie with the right mindset and you just want this fun-filled action film, I think you can have a lot of fun here. This film is unashamedly rated R. There's a lot of gnarly kills here. There's, all the blood's back. There's a scene in the opening scene where this Predator ship has crash landed, and it's military are in combat with it. And there's a scene where this corpse gets cut down in half, and the blood spatter basically lands on the Predator camouflage, exposing it. I thought that bit was really kind of cool. It goes on where this Predator initially gets released we have basically the military and the scientists and this underground government facility who are basically trying to combat this Predator. There's an ulterior motive to utilize the tech of the Predator. And it all kind of gets unleashed very unwittingly by our protagonist, who has an autistic son, who unwittingly unleashes this by playing around with the tech. So and I really liked all of those angles about it as well. So yeah, there's I think that. And like I said, I can at least see the potential here where it kind of feels like it was trying to do some of the stuff that Dan Trachtenberg was trying to do, with trying to make these expansions on the lore and the different types of predators, and make those kind of like expansions. Obviously, Dan Trachtenberg has had a lot more success with doing that than this movie does, but I can at least see the potential for that. But yeah, unfortunately, like I said, this movie went through a lot of reshoots in the post-production, and boy does it show, because my God, the editing of this film is terrible. It really is, to a point where like I said, you basically just have this sequence of action sequences that are just kind of like strung together. There's character motivations and decisions, there's creatures popping up and stuff, and like none of it really makes any sense. All of this stuff just kind of like happens, and there's no real, then it's trying to make these little bit of like expansions, but there's never a time to kind of pause and kind of like really look at and expand on those expansions that it's trying to make, because it's just so eager to get to the next action sequence. So yeah, unfortunately, the editing process of this film really hurts this movie badly. I'm not a big fan of the designs of the predators here, especially in the final act, where we basically get the big face-off against this big uber predator. Wasn't really a big fan of that. There is some like shoddy CGI in here as well. But yeah, so like on the technical standpoint, this film is a very flawed movie. But yeah, like I said, guys, in spite of that, I did it. When I revisited this movie for the purpose of this review, I enjoyed it more than I thought I would. You know, I think if you can turn your brain off and just ignore all of the technical issues that this movie evidently has, and you just want to see a bloody action film, I think there's some fun to be had here with this movie. So yeah, that pretty much wraps up. So yeah, thank you guys for taking the time to see this video. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more, don't forget to ring the bell for notifications. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I will be reviewing all of the Predator films here. I will be reviewing all of the Alien films as well. And then basically I'll be bringing those two franchises together to have one last face-off. And then as we rank all of those films from the worst to the best. So yeah, stay tuned for that. And yeah, feel free to let me know down in the comment section about what your thoughts on this film are. And yeah, until then, I will see you guys on the next video. You guys take care.